Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome to a lunch break with Royal Sussex. Welcome, one and all. I had a very busy weekend, but I was able to work through it and take care of a lot of necessary business. So everything worked out. And thank you all for being a constant source of support. Thank you, and thank you. Let's see who we have with us right now. Okay. All right. Mo Shannon is here. And Mandy Troll, Miranda Rios, Denise Jones, Sheila Watson. And let's see, Rick, Patricia Witherspoon. I'm sorry I'm laughing, but you know what I forgot to do? I was just thinking I wanted to share a bit of some trolling that happened over the weekend. I thought it was pretty funny, but unfortunately, I'm going to have to save that for the next time. But don't worry, I will share it with you guys. I thought it was hilarious, but thank you, moderators, for removing these offensive people from the comment section. I mean, just absolutely horrendous people. Let's see. Hello, Rick. Hello, Gwendolyn Jackman. And let's see, Fancy is here. Patricia Witherspoon. Hello. Carolyn Mentor. Hello. Jill Woodcock. Hello. And Elaine Parker is here. Hello. Let's see, who else is here? I looked the other way for a second. Elizabeth Anders is here. Cookies and cream. Thank you, moderator. Carolyn Sowers is here, and Susie Q. Connie Balmer. I'm scrolling back so I can see what I've missed. Sonia Johnson, Ma Jones. Okay. Veronica Quick, Denise Jones, Angela One Love. Hi, welcome. Okay, you guys are pouring in fast. Let me do my slides because, as you know, I work on them all the way up to the last minute because being here on the midday in the Midwest, there's a lot of stuff that I would normally miss if I work this early in the day, but I do work up until the last minute so I can catch as much as possible before I go on. So let's see. Today is, oh my goodness, is that right? Oh no, that can't be right. Let's see. Or is it? Oh my goodness, today is the 25th and I have my slides dated the 24th. No wonder I'm confused, but that's okay. For a second there, I'm like, wait a minute, where's my slides? All right. Thank you for your patience, everybody. I'm almost there. I haven't used this computer for a few days, so I hope that all the glitches have had a chance to go away. Uh, Let me see. This computer deserves the rest. And there we go. All righty then. Okay, we're good to go. We are good. There they are. Oh man, I have so much that I want to say about these two people. Um, just so you guys know, here at Royal Sussex, we don't hate anybody. We're not a hate channel, but we do have fun with certain topics. And one of my favorites is the Wessexes. Yes, Uncle Pennywise, and of course, Ford Fiesta. Ford Fiesta. There's been a few, there's been a few ways that she's been described. And someone once asked, why do they call her Ford Fiesta? Well, let's see. The Ford Fiesta is a very practical car. It is very inexpensive, but yet well built enough to get you from point A to point B. Just some basic transportation that one would use, um, as a first means of transportation, as a first car. Yeah, so I'm not sure exactly who coined the Ford Fiesta, but it wasn't me, but I love it. And as you know, I am a very impressionable person. Um, is that the right word? Well, I'm easily impressed. Well, whatever it is. Um, the reason why I say that is because some time ago, as you know, the celibacy crew, they coined the phrase jazz hands. And I cannot stop thinking about all that jazz. So when I say that you can just say the most, I guess, innocuous things to me, and somehow it just sticks. That is one of them. Jazz hands is the one that I just can never allow to go to sleep. We're not going to put jazz hands to bed. I'm going to wear it out. I love jazz hands. So much so that I had to just make some type of meme or something. Um, oh man, let me take a look at Church Nelly here. The Prime Minister's facial expression is just priceless. He looks like, do you believe this? Okay, well, Church, I have a theory. I have a theory about this. I believe, oh, let me get rid of jazz hands. My theory is, as you know, from time to time, they reshuffle things on Queen's piano and on her desk, around Christmas time or whenever the Queen gives like the big address to the public. That, as you know, they always rearrange the photos. So my belief is that somehow there was no longer any room on the Queen's coffee table or on the Queen's piano or on the Queen's desk. And I'm just assuming that the Wessexes had to go because they just weren't important enough to maintain that key position in the camera field on the Queen's addresses. So maybe, I don't know, through some kind of dispatch, their photo was returned to them and they weren't sure exactly what to do with it. And they got their photo back and they decided, well, why don't we regift it? Let's let's take it on the royal tour. Is it just me, or does it look like Edwina is wearing shoulder pads? Is it just me? I mean, is Eddie a bit buffed, or is he wearing shoulder pads? I haven't seen shoulder pads like that since Dynasty. I haven't seen shoulder pads like that since the Golden Girls. I swear, I think Prince Edward is wearing some shoulder pads. Huh? I mean, surely that can't be all him. I mean, I know he likes a boxier suit. I know he likes his suits a bit boxy. I mean, as you know, um, the Wessexes are no stranger when it comes to, how do we say, exploring different avenues in the fashion world. Like, for instance, there's that very daring maxi coat that Prince Edward wore to the cenotaph that day, where he shows the very muscular thigh, the stirrup pants, and just a flirtatious way of making one's presence known. So, I'm just saying that they are very fashion forward. And let's see here. Shoulder pads, totally 80s. Yes, yes. I'm wondering, what did they do with all those shoulder pads from the 1980s? Where did all those shoulder pads go? I mean, there must be landfill somewhere full of shoulder pads from the 1980s. So, these two people, I'm sorry, they're too much fun. I love them. I absolutely love the Wessexes. They're a lot of fun. Let me see. How up your own backside must you be to give someone a picture of yourself? Not even the Duke of Hastings does that, and he should. What? Oh, the Duke of Hastings, you mean on Bridgerton. Now, see, that's one photo I think most people would accept. I would put that in pride of place. But I don't know if I would want the Sussexes like on my desk, or, even behind my desk or something like that. I'm not even, what do you do with that? What do you do? I still have all my shoulder pads in my closet. Oh, thank you for sharing that, Joan Garcia. I was just wondering what happened to them, because, we all sported the shoulder pads. We all rolled up our sleeves back in the 1980s. I was guilty of riding around in my car like Crockett's and Tubbs, listening to Phil Collins back in the day. So, we all had our time, and some of those things they're part of us now. So, I'm just saying, I think Eddie is sporting a bit of a shoulder pad. He's going retro. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, retro and the royal family kind of goes hand in hand, doesn't it? What they say, everything old is new again. Let's see, Edwina is trying to look manly, and Queen told him to go over there looking a runway model, embarrassing me. Oh man. Well, you notice that they sent Afro Annie to Australia and Papua New Guinea, because she's still a force to reckon with in terms of the royal family. And I'm sure she had her choice. Do you want to go to the Caribbean, or would you like to go to Australia and Papua New Guinea? And so Afro Annie said, don't be a fool. I'm going to go. You can imagine she talks rather gruff like her father. Um, so yeah, she chose to go to Australia. Well, representation matters, Baron. Maybe Ford Fiesta and Edwina thought they should have pictures of people who are non-binary. Right, right, exactly. So here's a close-up. Here's the close-up. Um, and by the way, you guys, let me do this so just in case you can't see it. Because mine is blocked by, yeah, on the, what do you call this thing? Some things I can't see on the live stream, or StreamYard, because yeah, I can see the difference. Yeah, on yours it's not blocked, but on mine I can't see the upper left-hand corner. So Nadine White, I'm telling you guys, Nadine White is quite the journalist. I don't know what she does professionally, but I'm here to tell you she's always on top of it. And Nadine um, decided it wasn't enough for us to see this. She actually gave us the high definition version of that hmm expression on his face. Hmm. Hmm. She gave us the high definition version of that very peeved look on his face. Before that, it wasn't easily seen, but now it is quite obvious that well, he has something that he feels about that photo. But being a professional, he's not going to make his feelings obviously known to everyone, but he's feeling something. I can guarantee you he's feeling something. So I'm so surprised his glasses aren't all steamed up and everything. But it was quite a gesture giving someone a photo of oneself like that. And it makes me wonder this. Who pays for the gift that is given to a head of state when the royals are traveling? Does it come out of their own pocket or does the state pay for it? Or does it come out of the sovereign grant? Who's paying for the gifts that are given on those foreign trips like that. Because if the Wessexes had to pay for it, maybe that explains why it is something so I don't know. I would just wonder what the value of the frame is. Because maybe they expected well, no, I guess that doesn't make sense. I was gonna say maybe they expect that they will reuse the frame or something like that, which I hope they shall, but we don't know. Okay, okay, I'm gonna show you guys something. One of the squatties pointed it out, but I wanted to make sure that that you see what it reminds me of. So that look reminds me of Michelle Obama on Inauguration Day when the Orange Menace gave that horrific apocalyptic inauguration speech. Huh? Hmm. Same energy. That is the exact same energy. I mean, although Michelle Obama kind of went in on her look of dismay, and I'm not implying that the what is he, a prime minister, the president? I'm not implying that he feels the same way. I'm just saying that it just it looks so hauntingly familiar to me. When I saw the look on her face that day as an African American, I knew exactly where she was coming from. And so when I saw his face, I'm like, uh-huh, I've seen that someplace before. Oh man. Yeah. Huh. Huh. Um let's see here. I knew you would have fun with this picture, Baron. I could hardly wait. This is my best day since Christmas, Lydia. This is my best day since Christmas. Huh. Oh Lord. Mm-mm-mm. This poor man, his glasses are about to steam up. This is what he's worked so hard for so that he can have a moment like this, so that he would receive I mean, Uncle Pennywise and Ford Fiesta, what were they thinking? Why would you think someone wants a picture of you? At least bring a set. They should have brought like the ultimate gift basket from the motherland. Tea, the royal jubbly plate. Yeah, why not send him the Royal Jubilee tea set? You know, the one that says Jubilee instead of Jubilee. If you really want to celebrate, send the Royal Jubilee tea set. But no, they didn't do that. They decided to send a photo of themselves. And it's got the crown and that. This is like something that you give on the side. But to make this a primary gift, I just find that rather bizarre. I appreciate the way he's cradling that photo as though it is, you know, something to behold. But then again, if you take a look at his face, it is quite obvious that it is something to behold. I mean, it's just one of those things that make you go, huh? Yeah, uh-huh. Okay. Okay. Oh man, Michelle Obama, thank you so much because what you were saying with your eyes, with your facial expression, is what we were all feeling in that moment. So, okay, let me take a couple of your comments here. Rick says, and they just started being working royals and bringing a picture of yourself. Darn shame. And let's see who else here. Church Deli said, I had the same facial expression on my face when my hubby cooked. Huh. Oh man, I be darned. Oh boy. Okay. Mo Shannon says that's the look we all know in the land of Bish, please. Bish, please. Bish. We get that one, Mo. I had to say, oh, okay. I'm sorry. Let me scroll in the other direction here. Okay, I would just assemble the picture right in front of them. If they ask why, I'll reply, I'm looking for the check. Myra, that's good. That is good. I'm looking for the check. Yes, yes, exactly. I'm looking for that reparations check. Exactly. I mean, let's see, it's in her eyes. I like him, but the slight stiffen in their grimace lips underline it all. Hell, even Betts doesn't have Edwina and Ford Fiesta picture on display. Yeah, the Queen doesn't have that. When the Queen gives her speeches and such, you never see their photo. You never see their photo. That poor black man, his ancestors survived slavery just to receive a photo from said enslavers' people. Yes. Okay, Edwina and Sophie, the unroyals, are laughing stock of the world. Well, I, I just can't believe why would you still go on this stupid. The only crowd. I mean, it's a stupid idea to take this tour at this time. If you guys remember, the only way that the Cambridges were able to get a crowd when they went to Jamaica was when the Cambridges went to that football pitch so that they could hang out with whatever the football player's name. I don't remember. But anyway, he's like a national hero to the people of Jamaica. And so they invite him to come along to make sure that there's a flood of people there, all these children trying to see their hero. Their heroes were not the Cambridges, right? The Cambridges just happened to be there. And as we know, in the Caribbean, people are very polite and hospitable. Uh, hospitable. I was going to say hostile. But I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. It's hospitable, not hostile. And so people are very hospitable, polite. welcoming to everybody. I mean, it's the Caribbean. The weather's always, well, usually great. Everything is very laid back. That's why people go there, is because they want to get away from the rat race and they want to enjoy the cool breeze off of the ocean and everything. And so it's no surprise that they were nice to the Cambridges, but in order to get a big crowd, they had to bring in someone else, and suddenly there's all these children there. So um, other than that, they didn't have any really big crowd any place they went. So yeah, they should have just abandoned the whole idea of having this royal tour. But did they listen to me? Nope. Okay, you'll never know, Baron. Somebody probably told him not to agree to the tour, and he probably said he wanted to give them the benefit of the doubt. And then after receiving this gift, after receiving the gift, huh? Huh? Huh. I gotta stop doing that. I have to stop doing that. Lord have mercy. Okay. He's thinking, what the hell am I going to do with this? The royals live in a bubble in their own little world. You got that right. Okay. Church Nelly, hold on a second. Let me go back to this. Church Nelly, I don't know what you're doing, but keep doing it. Anytime I see a bunch of laugh emojis in Church Nelly, I know I'm missing out on something good. But since I'm working, I may have to go back and look at it later because I think Church Nelly is cutting up right now. Okay, the look you get from black parents when they have company and you're acting the fool. Yeah, exactly. I've had that look, excuse me, from my parents before. As you can imagine, what kind of child I must have been with my creative nature and my sense of uh, fun and frivolity. Okay, hi all. Neighbors gave family a diamond ring, an emerald necklace, a ruby and diamond brooch, and sapphire and diamond earrings. In return, I gave them a signed photo of me. Weren't they lucky? Oh man. Oh my goodness, you guys are on fire today. Cookies and Cream says Orange Man has large following. Those same crazy people stormed the U.S. Capitol. What Orange and Punk Moron are trying to do to the Sussexes is very dangerous. Cookies and Cream, it is very dangerous. And let me say this. I don't think that that little squabble between Trump and what is his name? Oh yeah, and old hoghead Pierce Morgan. I don't think that was a real squabble. I figured it was probably just a bunch of um I guess lines that they exchange with one another. In order to make people think they're relevant, they have to have someone to fight with. And as you know, Pierce Morgan will insert himself into just about anything to bring attention to himself. And I believe that to be true, not only because I've seen it, but believe it or not, I was shocked when Robert Jobson so clearly said, I've been knowing Pierce Morgan for quite some time. And he said, Pierce Morgan has this innate ability to make every story about himself, or at least he tries to make every story about himself. So Trump and Morgan have built their careers on getting noticed. And the way you get noticed is to have conflict with someone else. I mean, just ask who's that one that was drinking the wine all the time? Anyway, that the one that got in trouble with I'm bad with names today. Anyway, the YouTuber that got in trouble because of that thing where she said that alleged that someone had a venereal disease and was cheating and all that kind of stuff. They built a name for themselves like that. And that kind of conflict will draw an audience, but you have to consider the quality of people that you're bringing onto your side. It's not the kind of people that are going to elevate your status because you're doing a good job. They're only elevating your status because you're shady and you don't mind making your name the dirty way. So, okay. Let's see here. Hi, Baron and Squatties. I'm going on with Pig Moron and Donald Trump trying to latch on to Prince Harry for relevance. Yeah, exactly, Queen Bee. Yeah, it doesn't hurt anybody to throw the name Sussex onto it. I haven't said this for a long time, but remember, I used to say all the time, if you want to make something relevant, if you want to bring attention to a story, or anything else for that matter, you have to add about 2 tablespoons of olive oil, right? Or in that case, 2 tablespoons of Sussex, and all of a sudden you have a gourmet meal. I mean, how many gourmet meals start with 2 tablespoons of olive oil, right? It's the same with the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. They are like the key ingredients to any gourmet meal. And so people use them repeatedly because even though in one breath they're saying, oh, they're so irrelevant, nobody cares what they think, they're not royals anymore, the queen should strip them of their titles. But yet, if they want to make the story interesting, no matter who it's about, you have to add 2 teaspoons or 2 tablespoons of olive oil to that story, and all of a sudden you have the makings of a gourmet meal. It is unfortunate, it is sad, but it is also very, very true. Add a couple of tablespoons of Sussex, and you got something going in the kitchen that people might even like. I'll put the picture in the garden to scare away the birds and the crows. Oh, let's see. Edwina and the pooch Sophie should have knew better. Yeah, what were they thinking? But I guess if you make your money from the sovereign grant, when they say go, do you have a choice? Do you really have a choice? Yankee Wally is trolling another royal long was trolling another royal long before Meghan. I remember that old hag. Really? I didn't know that. I did not know that. Let me see. After they saw how people complained about Kate and William's tour, you would think they would have stayed home. Yes, what I still can't believe that they decided this was a good idea. Kate and William, let's go back and review just a couple points. Um, the Cambridges were I guess Kate had her big night when she played the piano 3 days after the event and then pretended as though she played the piano that day. Okay. That was a big time for Kate, right? Kate could do no wrong. But William, on the other hand, because William has been relying upon the press to allegedly injure his brother's reputation and to drive him out the country and such, right? Since William has been depending upon that, wasn't it a shock that that same press turned against William and said that there were rumors of an affair, right? And so when that particular Richard Eden, who wrote that story, I believe, when that happened, Richard Eden, he said this thing about, oh, the Sussexes are bringing all this negative attention, and that's making the royal family unsafe. They should upgrade the security. Well, yeah, he said that, but then the Sussex squad decided, is this the same one that said that there was an affair? And so what happened? The entire world media began talking about an alleged affair. So, okay, so he had that happen. And then there was a thing about too many black people in Africa are ruining the environment, and that the what is it? The wildlife is suffering because there are too many black people in Africa. When the truth is, so much habitat in Africa has been lost because of foreign investment, not because of black people in their homeland, but because of foreign investors who try to find seedy politicians to help them take over public land, right? Okay. So he's got that. So he's got the alleged affair. Then he's got the statement about too many black people that he made not once, but twice, right? And then, of course, there was a thing about Ukraine where he says, oh, we're not used to having wars in Europe. I could see if this was Asia or Africa. He allegedly said that. Um, I believe it was the same reporter said, oh, maybe I heard him wrong, but we heard him right. Okay. So he's got that. All of this happening just before this Jubilee tour, right? And then if that's not enough, then he goes to the cultural center and say, well, we can't really do anything but a smile and a wave. Okay, all of that is bad enough, but then there's also the war in Ukraine. The country has been attacked, and Ukraine has been attacked. And at this time of uncertainty, when people think that this could lead up to WW3, that's when you say, "Oh, yeah, we're still going on a tour." And last but not least, let's not forget the Windrush. The Windrush people. They're going to cancel the charter flights for the Windrush people until the Cambridges return. And with all of that happening, you still decide it's a good idea to go on a tour of the Caribbean. Yeah. And that's what William decided to do. And nobody could talk him out of it. You know, Kate didn't want to go, but he decided it was still a good idea, right? So all of that stuff happened before they got on the plane and went to Belize. How dumb can you be? That was absolutely stupid. That is stupid is as stupid does. And that was dumb. I have no other word to say, but that was dumb. Okay, I'm sorry. I had that already. I will even call my staff to throw that darn pitcher in the toilet. Houseware will be used for target practice, right? Yes, use it for target practice in the loo. Uh, Let me see. He has mommy issues. They said I am going to make sure some have my photo on their desk since my mama don't have one. That's where it comes from. That was a photo that he gave his mama, and she gave it back to them. Okay, let's see. They really be living in a bubble. They don't want to burst it. They're holding on tight. Can't wait till the monarchy shatters. William will not know what to do with himself. William is not going to be a very good king. We all know that. William is going to be an abysmal failure as a king. Okay, you guys, we had to get this moving because I think I've spent almost 40 minutes on these three photos. We are very polite and hospitable, but don't mash our corns, as we say in the islands. Exactly, Lynn. I can understand that. Thank you for that reminder. Okay, I'm going to do a deep scroll because I am so far behind. Yes, I did see that. Oh, and yeah, I hate to talk about Trump. I really do. That guy, he's using the Sussexes. He's tried to use everything that you can think of to make himself relevant. It's frustrating to him that he's not being talked about. No one is speaking of him, and it's destroying his character because he's not relevant unless it's associated with a potential lawsuit or perhaps a fraud trial or something like that, and it's wearing him down. Anytime he has to turn to Pierce Morgan to try to get his name out there, obviously he's in a desperate situation. But yep, I've read about that the past couple days. I guess it's been or the past day. Let me see. The Orange Clown is contempt of court will be fined $10,000 a day until he shows up to court. That's what he needs to be worried about. Oh, is that? I didn't know that. I didn't know he received a contempt of court. Did that just happen today? If so, that's good. I don't think 10,000 is enough. After all, he's a so-called billionaire. Okay, so I need to, oh my goodness, how far behind am I? You know, it's always redundant when I say I'm a little behind just because of the way I'm filling up this chair right now. I always feel weird saying, "Oh, excuse me, I'm a little behind." In what universe? Anyway, that's not relevant. But okay, so we have a super chat. Let me see. Not just too many black people. To an let me see, and an affair with an affair and Ukraine and a smile and a wave, but y'all might don't know this, but Will and Kate lost half of the Commonwealth. I think I have a recollection, should I say? I'm sorry. I have a bit of a recollection of something to do with losing half the Commonwealth, which continues because this whole fallout with Edwina and Sophie's choice. All of that has to do with the Cambridge's trip. The Cambridge's trip is what has fueled so much of what's happening right now. If it wasn't for the Cambridges, I'm convinced that this would have probably have been just another thing. But because of the Cambridges losing half the Commonwealth, well, now it has, taken center stage. So, and in the spirit of that, let's remind everybody, shall we, Sean? Let's remind everyone. Okay, so thank you for that super chat, Sean, and thank you for reminding us that it was not just limited to those things, but yes, you reminded me they have lost half the Commonwealth, and that loss continues. It's like a slow moving storm, but it does continue. So thank you for that super sticker, Sean, and thank you for the reminder. Okay. Let's have a bit of a change of venue from here on out. Oh. I added this photo to the pile just as a reminder that the people of the Caribbean be like, that's it. They just be like this. I think everybody is having a good laugh, and let the choir sing. Everybody is having a good laugh at the expense of the royals with this unnecessary, unwanted, unwarranted tour of the Caribbean. Let me see. Oh, okay. It was a premiere party and the press was invited. Duchess came late and knew him. Everyone talked, socialized, and left. They left early from reports. It was not a date. Huh. Okay. I'm not sure what that is, but alrighty then. Let me mind my business and move on here. Okay. So this happened too. This also happened. Where is Afro Annie? Sophie Wessex left startled by bird during unexpected encounter on Caribbean Royal Tour. Sophie almost lost her sunglasses. Did you all see that? That Sophie was attacked by a giant bird? Well, I'm just throwing giant bird in there to make it sound more interesting. But Sophie was attacked. Somebody or something attacked Countess of Wessex Sophie. Um, now, when I first heard that a bird attacked her, you know what I was thinking, right? Camilla? The first thing I thought was, I'm like, Camilla, what are you doing? That's your niece. What are you doing to your niece? Um, but it wasn't Camilla. I was all wrong about that. Camilla did not, I repeat, Camilla did not attack Sophie. Okay. It was not Camilla. She's capable of a lot of things, but she did not attack Sophie. Okay. Just so that we're clear about that. Um, and then the other thing I thought, oh, that wasn't a bird. That was her hat. There was no bird. That was her hat. How dare they accuse some innocent bird of attacking her? There was no bird attack. That was just her hat. Haven't they seen some of the stuff she's worn before? But then I found out I was wrong that it was not her hat. It could have been, it looks like she's being attacked, but it was not her hat. Oh man. So then what could it have been, right? Um Caribbean island bird almost knocked Sophie's sunglasses off her on aviary visit or aviary visit. So as you can see, she's ducking for cover, right? Now, see, some birds, when they ball up their talons, like this falcon right here, some birds' talons can be as painful as being hit with a rock. It's like somebody threw a stone out of a slingshot. And so when that bird, I don't know if the bird was put off by the idea that the Wessexes were in the Caribbean. Did someone train the bird to attack anything that looks like a Wessex? Was it possibly a retaliation for receiving that photo? We don't know. Oh my goodness, yes. Was it a blackbird? We don't know. We don't know what the circumstances were. All we know is that that bird took a look at her and balled up his fist and went hurling toward her head and tried to punch her in the back of the head. I think that's what happened. But look at the way the bird is making that little fist right there. See, birds are capable. This is not the actual bird, but it looks very similar. Birds are not. I mean, the birds are capable of making a little fist when they want to. So that bird drew that fist up and tightened up that talon until it looked like a weapon, and then it went charging after her. Oh man. So that's just the theory that I have as to how and why this happened. I believe that the bird and his trainer got wind of that gift, or I don't know. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. But what I do know is I would like to thank Elaine Parker for the very kind and generous super sticker. Also, thank you for being a member of Royal Sussex. So yes, that did happen. The bird went charging after Sophie Wessex, and she nearly lost her sunglasses as the bird decided. And the bird, I saw the video. The bird waited until she turned her back. The bird waited until she turned her back and just bing right on the back of the head. So, oh, uh, being rewarded for being nasty to the Sussexes. Yes, exactly, exactly. The bird reads the papers. That is a very intelligent bird, and that bird knows exactly what's going on. So, but I want to stress this. I repeat, it was not the Duchess of Cornwall. It was it definitely wasn't a hat. I have it on good authority. It was not one of her hats. This was actually something wholly different from any of those things. So yes, exactly. Exactly. Those birds know what's going on. Those birds are fighting for reparations. Because as you know, in the fashion industry, especially during Victorian times, a lot of birds have lost their lives because some aristocrats would use their plumage. Birds have lost their plumage to come up with some of the most garish looking hats that you've ever seen. So I'm not saying that any birds were harmed for the sake of that hat, but I'm just saying that hat did not help anybody, including Countess of Wessex. So uh, birds have feelings too. Okay, I have drifted into a very weird place, so I think I better move on. Let's see. They said that is why she had to leave early, but was obligated to show up and support the cast and show. Morgan is bonkers. Okay, let's go here. So here you can see things have gone from bad to worse. They have gone from bad to worse. Prince Edward and Sophie Wessex have had another attack. Listen to me. I'm so busy thinking about that bird. Prince Edward and Sophie Wessex have had another setback on their Caribbean tour as Saint Lucia. Is that saying that right? Saint Lucia. Biggest radio host criticized the Jubilee Tour, asking how it benefits the Islanders. How does it benefit the Islanders? Not much, I think. It's a lot of great photos for them. It implies to the people of Britain that there is an empire to protect or monitor or whatever. But really, the empire is gone. There's this commonwealth that seems to benefit very wealthy British people. It benefits people that go on holidays, but it's very little benefit to the people who live on the islands. So, yeah, I'm sorry. What was that? Okay, that bird attacked her because of that dress. um, let me see. The royal aides told them to dress down so as not to look like Colonials, but lordy me, where did she buy those shapeless dresses? Shapeless? No, that's her shape. That's her shape, John. What do you mean shapeless? That is her shape. Didn't you get the memo? Okay, that was just shady. Okay. Let me see. That was a warning to royals. I think it has something to do with that photo. Prime Minister of Antigua Barbuda, what is his name? Gaston Brown, told the Wessexes today uh, the country intends to become a republic in the future, but has no immediate plans while the Queen reigns. Brown also spoke to Edward and Sophie about the importance of Britain paying reparations to former colonies. Okay, so at this point, I have a video, and before I forget, let me go ahead. Um, I think this is the only one that I made for today. It is the only one.
Boris Johnson's despicable comments about flag-waving piccaninnies, but also understanding when the Antigua and Barbuda Reparation Support Commission write in an incredibly...
I'm sorry to interrupt, but this is James O'Brien for your consideration. This is James O'Brien, so please adjust your sound. This is James O'Brien, and he's speaking about Boris Johnson. It starts, at a very awkward position, but he's speaking about Boris Johnson in the beginning, and then he's talking about, other stuff about the tour and everything. So, again, it starts off with him referring to Boris Johnson's reference of flag waving pickaninnies. That's not an R word thing, is it? I'm being sarcastic. Okay, let me continue. I'm going to start over again.
knitting together Boris Johnson's despicable comments about flag-waving piccaninnies, but also understanding when the Antigua and Barbuda Reparation Support Commission write in an incredibly powerful letter to Sophie and Edward Windsor, a letter so powerful it prompted them not to visit Grenada. They write simply, "We are not simpletons." I'm afraid that the spectre is raised that the only way in which the royal family has managed to retain its sort of status and reverential status in the Caribbean is by treating the natives, for want of a better word, as simpletons, which makes me read this out from Leon, who's in Wakefield, with a bit of caution. It says, "James, my gran came over in Windrush and she loves the royals. However, you speak to my cousin back in Jamaica, he always says, what do the royals do for us? They rule over a kingdom and do nothing for it. No infrastructure to pave the way for at least showing sorrow." And there's the problem. If, like me, you have no personal or familial investment in this history or this story, do you recognise what I'm describing, or do you think I've taken leave of my senses? This can't be sustained, I don't believe. I can't see how any of this can be sustained. Maybe the royal family as a small British-based institution can be sustained, but the international dimension of the royal family seems to me to be absolutely on its last legs.
Okay, so there you have it. That was James O'Brien, and excuse me. He echoed what I've been saying for a long time, or I would feel better saying that I have echoed what he's probably been saying for a long time. And that is, how does the institution sustain itself? And he also pointed out that they would probably function as something smaller in the future, meaning that in the future that the royal family there will always be a royal family as long as there is a living, breathing Windsor, there will be a royal family. Okay, just so we get that clear. But that they have the power and the influence, and even moreover, that they would use the public purse, use taxpayer money to sustain their lifestyle. That is something wholly different from the idea of the royal family not existing at all. So there is still a king of Greece, but he has no power. He has been deposed, he's been kicked out. I think he has to ask permission to even visit. There's still a king of Romania. There are kings, there's queens. The rightful heir to the French throne, the Duke of Orleans, um, I guess he was, well, was did they call him a king? Either way, they still retain the name. And in some cases, they still have the titles, but they have no power. And that may be the future of the Windsors. So they're always going to be there. But whether or not a nation would be expected to pull out all the stops because they're coming to visit, whether or not they will be chosen to review, let's say the troops or the army or the navy and such, um, well, it will, they'll have to sort that out at some point. And least of all, um, whether or not the royal family will take these tours of the Commonwealth. And let's remember, up until the 1970s, it wasn't Commonwealth Day, it was Empire Day. Yeah, if anybody's having trouble with their sound, I'm sorry about that, but the beginning of it sounded very weird anyway, so that may be what you've heard. Let me see. Let me take some comments here. Pickaninnies was a derogatory name given to black folks a long time ago. Uh-huh. Exactly. Okay. I don't hear the British citizens speaking of British royal family or wordism. I wonder if they are barred from making public statements. Good question, Joan Garcia. The Queen has no power now, and it will even be less for Charles and Willie. Well, the Queen does have a right to look at the law before the laws are made, and the Queen does have the power to dissolve Parliament. She is the head of the church, she's the head of the armed forces. Everything is in the Queen's name. Now, even though she's not exercising that power, would a time of crisis or martial law or something like that be a time where those surrounding a sovereign will say, you're the one who has the right to XYZ. What are you going to do? So it still comes down to that. I mean, yeah, she doesn't exercise the power that she has been allegedly, supposedly, officially ordained. But the power does exist. It is a figurehead role, but there are some things that are enshrined into law. So, would we ever want to put that to the test? I think for the Queen or any sovereign's sake, the answer is no. But it is a possibility. It is always a possibility. People thought that the Emperor of Japan was just a figurehead until World War II broke out and the Americans declared war against Japan. Then we found out that the Emperor of Japan had a lot of power that Americans were unaware of, things that were in their law and tradition that we were unaware of until such time as they went to war. People thought it was the warlords or these, I guess, what do you call it? These clans within Japan that was running the country, when it was actually the Emperor of Japan who had the sacred charge of protecting his country. And we didn't find out about those powers until after the fact. So yeah, the Queen is more than just a figurehead, and everything is done in the Queen's name. The Queen cannot be brought as a witness in a trial. Why? Because it would be redundant. The court is in the Queen's name. So there's a lot of powers that the Queen has that she just doesn't exercise. And that is a matter of survival, because once she starts pulling those threads, then that would probably doom the royal family in a way that would be a lot worse than if they just relinquish certain gifts or certain comforts that are given to them because of their birthright. Yeah, if they ever give that up, then yeah, they would have a better chance of survival. But if they ever started exercising the powers that they're born into as a sovereign, then yeah, that would probably spell doom for them. Just a little civics lesson. And I'm sure there's some parts of that that I may not have gotten correct, but I do believe that the queen does have certain powers that people are just unaware of. Okay. I'm still thinking the Caribbean nations should bring up the issue of visas. Yes. Yeah, Australians and Canadians, in other words, countries that are mostly white, don't need visas to travel to the head of state country. Does not make sense. Well, it makes sense when you consider that those countries are mostly white, and they feel as though that they will visit and then leave when they're supposed to, as opposed to, being frank and honest about it, that even if they are this supposed what is it, commonwealth, a group of nations with a sovereign in London, you would imagine that they should be able to travel to the motherland, the home of the mother tongue. They should be able to travel to England without using a visa, which in some cases are all but surely turned down, just like all of the treasures that's in the British Museum. The countries that these treasures were stolen from, those countries, they can't have their treasures back because they're going to keep them in Britain for safekeeping. But those same treasures that they won't return. If you want to see something like the Benin bronzes, then you had better get a visa. And chances are, unless you're wealthy, you won't get that visa unless they can assure that you're going to return back to your home country. You won't get that visa. So that's the way it is. And thank you for reminding us about that. Is it Narina? Thank you so much for reminding us about that, because that is a very, very important point. Thank you. Let's see. Only Harry will be relevant in the future because he showed how you can exit and make a living for yourself without taking from the taxpayers. Yes, Stephanie Brown, and Harry also demonstrated that you can also do public service. Service is universal. You can serve humanity, be a royal, and earn a living without using money from the sovereign grant. That was the other thing he demonstrated. James is correct. There's a lot of people feeling this way for ages. Even in Northern Ireland, the government there is a mess, and it's like UK don't care enough, but still want to hold on to it. In my opinion, Dolores, yes, absolutely. They want to hold on to Northern Ireland because this ever shrinking nation, which eventually may shrink down to just the southern part of the British Isles, um, they want to hang on to that. They want to maintain, and that's the whole idea of the Commonwealth, is to give this impression that the British Empire still exists. What empire? It's gone. One of the biggest things that they lost in recent years was what? Hong Kong. And of course, before that, the jewel of the crown, as they referred to it, India. Losing India, which at one time was alleged to be the wealthiest country on earth. India had the largest economy on earth. India was full of gold and jewels and such. The railroad of India was built with the express purpose of extracting wealth from India. Their railroad, that aging infrastructure, was not created for the benefit of the Indian people. It was created so that the East India Company, as they called it, or whatever it was, they were able to extract the wealth out of India. That's that the railroads only went in one direction, and that was from any place that was a source of wealth, and then to the ports, and then eventually whatever goods or whatever valuables were sent back to England. That was the whole purpose. They didn't build a railroad for the people. It was for the wealth extraction. I'm going to read a couple of your comments and then we'll talk about this photo. Joanne, he is a journalist for the Gutter Daily Express, but he takes no prisoners and has always defend Meghan and Harry. He is as tired as we are of the filth and lies against them. I suppose that's for James O'Brien, or is that someone else? Okay. Lorna Williams says the Royals have held on to their position in the Caribbean by giving honors to upper class in Caribbean and by giving them MBEs or making them ladies and other paperweight honors. Yes. Yes, and that was one of the biggest things that we've learned from this entire thing with the honor system is that it is a way of gaining allegiance and loyalty for the crown. And of course, anybody who is upwardly mobile, whether you are a football player or whether you are a local council head or whatever, by giving out those MBEs and such, it is a way to make sure that when the time comes, you are going to defend the crown. The crown, rather, the crown. The crown or the crown. It is a way of making sure that they have your loyalty. It is a way of making you feel good about having been awarded by your nation, a grateful nation, and to assure your continued loyalty. Now, as we know, one of those honors looks very disturbing. Let's take a good look at that. And I know this triggers some people, but let's face it. You have the image of Saint George or Saint Michael, or is he supposed to represent both? The archangel, the defender of the realm, with a chain as he stands on the neck of a black person. Obviously, this is supposed to represent the empire, and so they are taming the savages. That is the symbol of, and then of course the flames means that they are casting this particular person to the pits of hell to make sure that Europe, and in this case in particular England, is safe for prosperity and all that kind of stuff. So there's a lot going on in that one little piece of enamel, or not enamel, but ceramic, I believe it is. There's a whole lot going on in that little enamel or ceramic medallion that takes your breath away. And this is what they give out to people when they really want to make sure that they know that they are one of us, so to speak, right? Okay, so let me take that away before you smash your electronic device. And I believe that there is, I'm going to have to, oh, there we go. TCC Sun has given a generous super sticker. Thank you so much for that. And thank you for being a member of Royal Sussex. Thank you for watching Royal Sussex. And on behalf of Sean, who did not receive my very breathy thanks, thank you, Sean, for watching Royal Sussex. Oh, and as I say that, what happens? There we go. Sean chimes in with, they lost Japan, okay? That's somewhat of a big deal. They lost India. Okay, maybe that's a small loss. So you might say it can't get no worse than that. Will and Kate said, hold my tea. I get that, Sean. If you're not understanding that reference, hold my tea. Anytime somebody does something stupid and end up in the hospital, the next person they see is usually a nurse because they have said, watch this, hold my beer. Thank you for that, Sean. I love that. Hold my tea. That is very funny. So I'm going to look at a couple of more of your comments. Oh, and by the way, thank you for the super chat, Sean. And thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Okay. Wow, you guys, these comments are coming very fast. They're coming very fast, but I'm going to do my best to try to see as many of them as I can. Okay, let's do this fast because it's been an hour and 15 minutes. I'm in pain from dental surgery this morning, but I am amazed. But it amazed me how the royal welfare family in the UK get to act blue blood when all their riches come from stealing and free taxpayer stealing. Yeah, they get their money essentially from the public purse. Now, if you go back to ages ago, it and they even still use the term a subject, as though everything in Britain really belongs to the crown. Everything belongs to the queen. Now, in modern times, of course, people do own property. People have property rights and such, but for the average working class British person, the dream of owning your first home, and this is not restricted to Britain, this is happening in places like Australia, the United States, any place that has a relatively wealthy tax base. It is worse than ever for young working families to buy property, to own property. And yet you still have a royal family that are living off the taxpayers, essentially. They say that what it costs the average taxpayer about £60 a year to maintain the royal family. I wonder if they ever put that to a referendum, would they still get that £60 a year from every individual taxpayer? And we all know the price is higher than that because the Metropolitan Police won't discuss how much it costs to maintain security for the royal family. They won't discuss it, although it is said, and I believe it to be true because it's the Sussexes, but it is said that there are two royals that are more than willing to pay for their own protection from the public, from the Metropolitan Police, from the security services. There is at least one couple that is more than willing to pay for their own security, but they won't be allowed to do it because they have outshined the future futures of the family. They have outshined the future futures, and as a punishment, they are not allowed adequate protection while visiting home for Harry, and of course, eventually for his children and family whenever he deems necessary. So, okay, there's that. All right. So, Trinidad had no loyalty. Chief Justice were knighted. Governor were knighted. And let me see who else. We got our independence and also became a republic. Very, very, very cool. Thank you, Lynn. William will never be king. He is so hungry to be one. He hated Harry because of Meghan and has organized people to ill treat her. Yes, that alleged, I have to throw that in there, that alleged mistreatment, whether or not it, or should I say, whether it comes from the tabloids, or whether it comes from staff, or whether it comes from any source for that matter, we all know that one of the ways that it happened was likely because the phone calls were coming from inside the house. And remind people, remind people, Dan Wooten, his own words, Dan Wooten launches a tirade against the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. He said, it's much easier for them to blame anything uncomfortable on the R word rather than address the fact that the negativity toward them is coming from within the royal family. In other words, the calls are coming from inside the house. There you have it. Okay. So, if you guys don't mind, we do need to move on. I am going to discuss this photo right here. I haven't talked about the Wessexes this much in ages. So there they have it. I'm always impressed by the skill with which the Royal Protection officers disguise themselves. Do you guys all get that, or do I need to tell you why he made that statement? It took me a minute before I figured it out, but he's referring to. Oh, well, you guys tell me. I don't know if you have already noticed or not, but do you guys know what he's referring to? Oh, thank you, Lydia. I told you I scared myself one night. I had the Royal Sussex on playback, and I heard that voice, and I was like, "Where's that coming from?" I didn't realize it was me. God, that was funny. Okay, so do you guys get the Royal Protection Officer yet? Anybody? You mean the bird with the balled up fist of a talon? Okay. So I don't see anybody has said it, so I'm going to tell you. When he refers to the Royal Protection Officer, I believe that this Philip Murphy is referring to the palm tree. I believe he's referring to the palm tree in the photo. I'm I'm always impressed by the skill with which the Royal Protection Officers disguise themselves. So to make sure, that the Wessexes are safe, I believe he's referring to that palm tree, which seems a bit out of place on airport property. Oh man, I love this. I love this. I don't know if this Philip Murphy is a good guy or a bad guy, but because of this photo, I'm going to follow him and I'll get back to you. But when I saw that, I thought I was going to fall out of my chair. So, as you can see, Edwina, the non binary prince, is quite safe up there on that little platform because obviously there is a royal protection officer disguised as a palm tree. So next time you see a photo, the next time you see a photo of a royal outing or something like that, make sure that that ficus tree, or in this case, that palm tree, make sure you take a close look at it because it may very well be a royal protection officer. Oh man. Okay, so moving right along. Moving right along. Let's see. Do you have any comments for me? If us black folks are still suffering from what the colonizers did to us, how do the royal family and the Rhoda expect to not be punished by God for their sins? No sin goes unpunished. God judges all. Yeah, eventually, as Malcolm X says, the chickens will come home to roost. Again, that is no reference to the Duchess of Cornwall, none whatsoever. But yes, eventually. Hey, who woke up early? Who woke up early on Monday morning feeling shadier than ever, huh? Who woke up this morning feeling shady? I don't know. I'm looking at the man in the mirror. Okay, it is now clear that William and Kate's ill-fated Caribbean tour last month wasn't an outlier because by poor planning, this is how likely to be the pattern for royal visits to the region, and I expect they'll peter out. 2022 looks like being a pivotal year. Now, this is another Philip Murphy. Again, I don't know who this guy is, but he popped up on the Twitter, and I thought, okay, this guy seems to be onto something. So I'm gonna have to look back through his Twitter and see what he's about. Let's see. Nobody wants to kidnap the Wessexes or K8 for that matter. They'll oh, that's Kate, right? They'll never kidnap Egg because no one knows what he looks like. Oh man. Yeah, I don't know. I woke up on the wrong side of shady today. Okay, Elaine Parker Thomas Marco is a trash of a father. Why do he need to do this to his daughter? He's crazy. Yes, evil Santa. He is crazy. Okay, we excuse me. We have to move on. Let me go to the next slide. Okay, what is this one? Oh, okay. Yes, we're going to change gears, you guys. We're going to change gears. Put away your shade. We are going to change gears just a bit here. Oh, wait a minute. Before we change gears, let me check some. Oh, yeah. Okay, we're good. We're good. Incredible photos and inspiring stories from the athletes of the 2022 Invictus Games. Prince Harry chats with Team USA Gabriel George on April 17th during the archery event. It was like I was talking to a friend. George tells People magazine of his time with Prince Harry. What I love about this is the fact that at the time I posted those photos. Several other squaddies posted those same photos. And I thought to myself, how can Harry be in so many places at one time? There must be at least 3 or 4 Harrys running around there, but it was just one Prince Harry with the energy of like, I guess, Energizer battery. I mean, he was everywhere. And it's amazing how so many people had conversations with him. And as they say, Prince Harry always has this ability to make you feel like you're the only person in the room. Well, he spent a lot of time speaking with Gabriel George. Even though, of course, he's Team USA, Prince Harry is there for all nations equally. And it was just a very, very sweet, very, very Sussex moment. So, and he's sharing his thoughts about that. And then there's some other things, but because of Prince Harry spending time with him, he seems to have become one of those faces that you see repeatedly anytime you go through a collage of photos having to do with the Invictus Games. Okay. Oh, we don't want to change gears that fast. Let's go back there for a second. I can't be the only one who, to this day, I hear party pieces. I think I know what you're speaking of, like the bridal showers, right? The hen parties, as I think they say in the UK. Uh, oh man, I understand. I understand. Okay, let's move on here. Holy cow, we've been on here for an hour and a half. I need to move even faster than that. Let me see. Okay. You do realize that Edward being on the podium is the same as William and Kate being in the back of that open air truck. So they are head and shoulders above everyone and can look down at them. Typical Colonial. Oh, okay. You know what? That deserves a step backwards. Let's go take a look at that. Where is it? Oh, I see what you mean. Ooh, uh-huh. Yeah, I get that. Thank you so much. Royal Protection Officer and all. Yeah, it does have a way of doing that because there's no microphone there. It's not like he was giving a speech. It is as though the queen herself, no pun intended, it's as though the queen herself is there and she's elevated above the crowd because, yeah, I get exactly what you're saying, JCab. Thank you so much for sharing that. Okay, so let's go back where we were here. Okay. Um, okay, let me see. You guys, I appreciate all of the comments. They're coming so fast, though. I know I'm missing a lot of them. The Hay Channels are coaching Thomas Sr. to join with them and to go to the Jubilee. Also trying to get him to interview with Lady C. Campbell. Ugh, ugh, ugh. I feel like I got a ugh. Just saying that name. Okay, so we're going to change gears. Thank you so much, everybody. Angela Levin, Prince Harry's okay. Prince Harry mostly looked depressed at the Invictus Games. How both of them most recent picture? Well, someone here, Prince Max on Twitter, compared their images at the time of the Invictus game. Yes, one of these people looks very depressed. One of these people look pretty sad and downtrodden. And guess what? It's not Prince Harry. Prince Harry looks like the life of the party. Prince Harry looks like he just won the lottery. Prince Harry looks like he just opened for Earth, Wind, and Fire. I mean, Prince Harry is everything here, whereas the other, that's the one who looks depressed. That's the one who looks down in the mouth, or the chin, or the non-existent neck. Yeah, that's the one who looks down, not Prince Harry. Okay, that's all I have to say about her and that comparison. Moving on. Okay, take a look at that. Y'all notice something special about this picture. If you can spot it, then you'll understand why Hoda nailed an interview with Prince Harry. Can you all spot it? Do you all see anything that stands out in this photo? And by the way, thank you for that, Sussex Spartan Meg Hive. Thank you so much for that. Uh-huh. Does anybody notice? Does anybody see what is being brought to our attention? Oh, yeah, you did see it, huh? There you go. There you go. Sorry I missed that. Kate Herrera says, yes, Meghan Markle. Yes, Meghan, Duchess Meghan. Meghan. Yeah. Yes, Queen. Yes. Duchess Meghan is in the photo. Huh. So, that being said, you guys, when the derangers tried to make it seem as though the Duchess of Sussex is just so desperate to be noticed, desperate to be seen, desperate to find her way in Hollywood, desperate to find her way with the establishment, it just goes to show, and people have been saying this for a long time, you don't know who the Duchess of Sussex knows. You have no clue who she has had long friendships with. We do not know, and I'm speaking figuratively, we do not know who's in her Rolodex. We just don't know. Yes, people don't use Rolodex, and yes, I'm showing my age by saying Rolodex, but we have no clue who's in the Duchess of Sussex's Rolodex. And likewise, whose Rolodex she may be in. And there she is, our Duchess, highlighted in the photo simply just by being. I mean, it's just like our eyes are instantly drawn to the Duchess of Sussex. So there you have it. Okay? Case closed, case dismissed. Objection, Your Honor, asked and answered, right? Asked and answered. I object. I relinquish my time. I'm taking back my power. I'm taking back the Duchess of Sussex's power. And I'm going, okay, yes, yes, yes. We noticed that. We noticed that. Uh, we do notice who she's standing next to, but let's not lose sight of the fact that the Duchess of Sussex once again has demonstrated that she is and has always been quite relevant. And of course, as a daily reminder, there are no leaks in Montecito. Okay. All right. So we are going to change gears yet again. Uh, Hit it, Afro Annie. Oh, okay. So there you have it. Changing gears, we are going to look at this. Luxbox had a comment today. Luxbox wanted us to think about something, and that's why I used Aretha Franklin, because I want everyone to think. That's Aretha Franklin in the movie. Oh, what movie was it? The Blues Brothers, where she did that show-stopping number. Think. And so, anyway, I have to do something so I can see what's written up there. It is blocked by my. Oh, now it's too small to see it. Now it's still not right. Let's see if that works. Okay. Imagine the pain Diana felt knowing the horrible monarchy would relegate one of her sons to being a spare, despite this, Harry. Oh, there we go. Got to move it again. Oh, nope, too small. Harry, not William, is now the King of Hearts, just as Diana was the Queen of Hearts. That's right. So, despite the fact that they tried to push Harry into the position of being the spare and that he had no other purpose in life but supporting his brother, they tried to put him in that position. And they thought, oh, if he just married a Stepford wife, that he can continue to make his brother look good. Well, or try to make his brother look good. They had it all wrong. They had it all wrong. Diana probably made sure, I'm sure she made sure that Harry was equipped with everything he needed if he ever needed to step away from that family. I am convinced of that. I think, for instance, Diana did have anguish about the way Harry was likely to be treated by that family. But as Harry said, my mother has me sorted, and she has sorted him out. Um, all the tools that Harry needed for his future was the gift that his mother gave him. Just as you see the mama bear teaching the baby bear how to hunt for salmon in the creek, or as you may see the river, or you may see how the mother bird teaches the baby bird how to how to hunt for prey or whatever. I mean, certain things is just something that a mother's love can give a person um, in those very formative years that you can't get any other way. So I'm convinced that Princess Diana has done that. Just like here, you can see that a mother bird. I'm sorry, that was a very serious moment, but I couldn't help it. Right here, you can see how a mother bird has taught a baby bird how to deal with them royals when it comes to reparation and those colonial visits. You ball up your talon into a fist, and you you this is what mother birds are teaching their youngins nowadays. You ball up your talon in a fist and wait until they turn their back and give them a little knuckle sound. And give them a little knuckle sandwich of it. You go Mike Tyson on the airplane and they won't come back. See that? Woo! That's how you. that, that's what the mother birds are teaching the baby birds. Oh Lord, I couldn't resist that. I had to do it. I'm sorry, y'all. But as soon as I said bird, it just connected. That's all I could say. But anyway, anyway, let's move on. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. But thank you for that, Luxbox. Is that right? Yeah, Luxbox. Thank you so much for reminding us that. And I'm sorry I turned your very thought-provoking tweet into something else, but it wouldn't be me if I didn't do it. Okay, so oh Lord, I don't know. I just when I said bird, it all came rushing back to me. I'm sorry, it just happened. But yeah, sometimes the mother bird is like, okay, when those colonizers come, this is what you do. You ball up your little talon into a fist and then wait till they turn their head and then you go in for it, okay? That's it. And they'll never come back. And they'll never come back. That's how you do it. You ball up your talons like a little fist, and you get them in the back of the head, knock their glasses off their face. They'll never come back. So, oh, I believe Sophie came along after Princess Diana. Sophie, if I remember the timetable, I believe Sophie came along after the fact. Oh, after Diana passed away, or I hate to use the other word, but after what happened. Whew. Okay, you guys, let's move on. Let's move on. Here we go. Okay. How did we still get there? I meant to do something else. Okay, you know what? Let me take this away. I need to take that away. And there we go. That is what we were changing to. Why would anyone marry a royal? So, thank you, Leo Poe. I wanted to make sure that more often than not, I acknowledge who was bright enough to bring these facts to the Sussex squad, because a lot of people work hard to make sure the Sussexes are well represented, that they are protected by our presence on social media and otherwise. So here's another good example. Um, why would anyone marry a royal bride? So this story is from, you see that? November of 2010. November 2010. Another quality of Middleton's, which may stand her in less good stead, is how unformed she seems. This is one way in which, despite her age, she echoes Diana. Given all the marital problems that the royal family has seen in the last few years, it would have been exciting to see someone into the family who genuinely reflected the modern world and modern women, who had a life before her marriage, ambitions distinct from it, who had pursued a career and perhaps succeeded in it. Well, let me see. If you really need an example of that, you already know that there's one person who's an example of that, and that is the Duchess of Sussex. I mean, let's go through the list. Um, Genuinely reflected a modern woman, life of her own before marriage, ambitions distinct from the royal family, or being a part of the royal family. That's all that describes our Duchess of Sussex. None of that would describe the Duchess of Sussex if you think about someone that was easily molded or something like that. No, that would not be a good description of the Duchess of Sussex. The Duchess of Sussex was her own person, is her own person, past, present, future, has always been her own person. So, and in the reference to Princess Diana, she said, despite her age, she echoes Diana. Well, Diana was selected at age 16. Diana only met Charles a handful of times before the marriage. Diana was a teenager. I believe she was a teenager on her wedding day. So when they say easily formed, I'm sorry, how unformed she seems, of course, that means the fact that when someone is a teenager, you can have a lot of influence on their future, on their personality and such. Well, Diana, in her own right, was her own person. Now, they found out later that she was not so easily, shaped into an object for their personal use. She was her own person. It took a while for her to come out, but she was her own person. And I think with that, she has a lot in common with the Duchess of Sussex. Princess Diana didn't sit around trying to figure out how can I fit into this family. She wanted to make sure that she used her platform to serve humanity. She wanted to make sure she had a life after the royal family. Okay, so very interesting. Again, thank you, Leopold, for finding this article. Um, lady around during, let me see. Oh, okay. I read that one already. And here we go. Wow, even Mother Nature hates them. Remember when Will Not and Cannot was in the Bahamas, there was a thunderstorm. The bird should have poop. I wonder if she may have had a little calling card left over from that bird attack. They didn't mention that. And of course, with that dress, how would you ever see it? I mean, if the bird did poop on her, how would you ever see any bird poop on that dress? It's almost like rainforest camouflage, isn't it? So yeah, I wouldn't notice any bird poop on that dress. Okay. Uh, okay. I love today. I'm watching on my PC, folding clothes. It's like I'm having a sassy little girl get together with a friend or two. I'm so glad you're enjoying today, Mystic Toxins. I'm glad you're enjoying today. I'm glad to be a part of your day. I mean, truly, I'm deeply honored by that. The fact that someone may fold clothes, wash dishes, get through their lunch break or whatever, I am very pleased to hear that. Very pleased. I'm glad to be a part of your day. Thank you so much. And thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Isn't this a shame to see how desperate they are to make the Commonwealth countries theirs? Like you can see the desperation. It is desperate. They're trying to seem bigger than what they are. She would not be living in the UK. She has always wanted to live in the US, California to be exact. I believe that too. I really do believe that. Okay. Okay. Ideations. Thomas knows this, yet he keeps helping the unroyals to try to destroy her. Meghan has every right to go after him legally. If not, he'll never stop. Cookies and cream, I hope it doesn't come to that because it's only going to make him more important than he's already not. So I hope it doesn't come to that. But you're right, she's within her rights to do that. Okay. Oh my goodness. I'm like behind a whole lot of stuff here. Wow. Thank you for the super sticker, NRB. Thank you so much. And thank you for being a member of Royal Sussex. Yeah, there's a very, very generous super sticker. Thank you so much for that. And again, I'm so glad to be a part of your day too. That is a huge honor for me to. I mean, could you imagine what it's like knowing that you're a part of somebody's day? I've never experienced anything like that. And sometimes I'm just like, wow, that is very, very cool. I am deeply honored by that. So thank you again. Okay, so with that, oh, what did I just do? Oh, uh-oh. See, sometimes I hit the wrong thing on my screen and it'll take me to places I didn't mean to go. Sorry about that. Let me see. Diana loved Charles, but boy, when a woman is fed up, you know what happens when a woman gets fed up? I'm going to tell you what happens when a woman gets fed up. She goes, hmm, hmm. That's hmm, hmm. That's what happens when a woman gets fed up, right? Okay. So, okay, you guys. One more super sticker. Thank you so much. Nettie N, thank you so much for the super sticker. And happy Monday to you. And thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. Okay, we are going to let's see if yeah, I believe we're gonna here. Oh yeah, I knew I had something else to go with that. I knew I had something else. Um, Unformed, right? As in mannequin. There you go. One day I was just like really sick of the Cambridges. I was sick of them. Do you hear me? Sick! I was sick of them. And I decided to make a little meme to express how I felt inside about the two people who I feel is responsible for the Sussexes being run out of the UK. So in response to that, I decided, what if and then that happened. So that's what happened when people get on my nerves. It brings out my creative side. Oh, yes. And then there's this bees, bees. Okay, if I'm saying it right, it's giving me, yeah. So she's saying, yes, it's that very same energy. And I do see it. So when I went and found this photo, hmm, it was because I found this on the Twitter. And so remember I told you I was inspired? Well, that is where the inspiration came from. Anyway, this is in reference to someone giving you a gift and you're just not sure what, if anything, you can possibly do with it. So, again, thank you so much for that inspiration. I love it. And the squad thanks you, bees. Yeah, so there they are, the colonizers. Ladies and gentlemen, the colonizers. Now, of course, when I say that, I don't mean that they directly have colonized the Caribbean, but they are enjoying the benefits of colonization. And they have decided that it was a good idea to return to the Caribbean to help celebrate the Jubilee, looking very much like the ancestors of the past. So, not a good idea. I mean, that photo right there, if I was a, what do you call that? The body language expert, I would say that she's blocking with her hat, she's blocking her eyes, and that he is grimacing with despair. And the lady in the distance there to the right side of Kate there in the left of the photo, she's looking to try to figure out um, why did they come here? I mean, there's so much going on in this photo. So it just goes to show anybody can be a body language expert. And this, I think this comes from the taxi driver artist. I'm not sure. But yeah, one of the artists who I'm not sure if they're squatty as much as they just have contempt for the institution, decided to demonstrate exactly the mood of everybody with this Caribbean tour of the Cambridges. So that is where that comes from. And of course, me being a bit of an artist myself, what did I do? I decided to create Gone with the Windsors. See there? It's something about that family that brings out the artist in all of us. Noticing that she had on that Miss Scarlet, I don't know nothing about birthing no babies, Miss Scarlet. Seeing that she had on that Gone with the Wind dress, I decided that if she can wear that dress on the Caribbean, I can put her in front of an old plantation house where she belongs. Miss Scarlet, I don't know nothing about birthing no babies, Miss Scarlet. Makes you wonder, do I practice that when I'm alone? I don't know. If I am hearing voices, I may be answering. I'm not sure. And there they are on the balcony. I cannot find the video for this moment, but it is out there somewhere. When they were celebrating 100 years of the RAF, as you can see, both the Duke of Cambridge and the Duke of Sussex are wearing RAF uniforms, if I'm correct. As they were celebrating 100 years of the RAF, when they went out onto the balcony, Kate stood exactly where I want to say she was standing where Harry is standing, right? And William came out and he told her to move over. And she stepped maybe 1 millimeter to her left. And William repeated it. And when he repeated it, he kind of wound his hand up like, now, do it quickly, do it quickly. Whatever he said to her, she did not want to move. She wanted to make sure that she stayed front and center. Now, if you ask me, she was being a mean girl that day. Now, I don't know if y'all ever seen that photo or not, but I did, and I remember that. Miss Scarlet, Miss Scarlet. That's gonna get stuck in your head, I know. Miss Scarlet, I don't know nothing about birthing no babies. And then, of course, a long time ago, I made a video about this idea that the tabloids, as well as so many people that are derangers and haters of the Sussexes, were referring to the Duchess of Cambridge as classy. And in the video I used the example of Michelle Obama and of course Trump's mail order, oh, I shouldn't say that, Trump's third wife. Trump's third wife. I use that as an example of the idea that the woman of color could not possibly be considered as classy. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that the woman on the right side there has a double bachelor's degree from university, that she has been financially independent most of her adult life. It doesn't matter that she worked as an ambassador for the United Nations, that she started a successful blog called The TIG. None of that matters. It doesn't matter that when she was a child, she wrote a letter and changed an ad campaign for a Fortune 500 company that she thought was being biased against women. No, none of that matters. That she, in most people's eyes, would be seen as incredibly intelligent and successful. None of those things matter. What matters is she's a woman of color, and against the English rose as they have cast her, she is lacking class. Her mother has dreadlocks and a nose ring. They're from L.A., so they're straight out of Compton. Whereas the other one is from Huckleberry Farm or wherever she's from, and in spite of the fact her mother is like a retired air hostess who has started a party favor business that made them millionaires, of course. Despite all of that, we have to look at the one on the left side as being the classy one, just simply because she's not a woman of color. She's not the daughter of the air hostess. Yeah, that air hostess. Yeah, because she's not the daughter of the air hostess, we couldn't possibly consider her as being a classy person. It is the one on the left, simply by birthright and by her ethnicity, we should consider her as being the classy one. That is disturbing. Hello, Baron. Your impersonations of different people's voices are out of this world. I love it. Miss Scarlet! Thank you for that. Thank you. Let me see. Charles tried to say Harry was whipped by Meghan. Harry married a woman he loved and did not mess up two families. Him and the other, on the other hand, married his and tore down his family and someone else's. Well, yeah, that did happen. That did happen. And thanks to his mother's frail but yet stable disposition, that person is the future queen consort. Yeah, that person is the future queen consort rather, not concert, but or as Sonny Hostin says on The View, the future queen cohort. The future queen cohort. Okay. All right. So I do believe. Oh, let me see. Was that for today? Huh. Was that for today or not? Oh, yes. I still have another slide, you guys. We're going to change gears a bit. We are going to change gears. Now, I have to warn you, this one um, brought tears to my eyes earlier this morning. So let's cue Afro Annie so we can change gears here, shall we? Okay. So this brought a tear to my eye. That man wrapped in the British flag right there. Unfortunately, I do not know his name, but he has been trending a bit on the Sussex friendly Twitter because he is so emotionally overwhelmed with the moment at the Invictus Games. And I'm thinking to myself, looking at the photo right now, he needs someone there to comfort him, right? There's that someone right there. Like I said, I don't know how Prince Harry is everywhere at the same time, but look at that. Prince Harry obviously noticed this man and decided he needed someone to comfort him. And as there he was, the Ginger Avenger to the rescue. Now that really warms my heart. That warms my heart so much. I love, love, love this photo. So again, thank you, Misan Harriman. Is it Misan Harriman? Thank you so much for sharing that. That really makes my day. Oh, Adrian, I know. Isn't that beautiful? What a beautiful, beautiful moment. I don't know how Harry found the energy to be all those places at once. But as I said, this brought a tear to my eye. This is another view, thanks to Thrive on Purpose. We can see yet another image. Tory Young, that's his name. Tory Young. Prince Harry and Tory Young. Deborah Anderson says, love him so much. Harry is easy to love. Harry loves everybody. Okay, let's see. Yes, it started about 6 months ago when I was in the mail yesterday. The picture on Twitter. Yeah, so beautiful, beautiful. And this is another point of view that I found just before I went on air. As I told you, I was working up to the very last minute, and I found this one. I'm like, oh, very cool, very, very cool. I mean, just let's go back 3 photos. Someone was in need, and somebody was there, like a superhero, as he's been called, the Ginger Avenger. There he was, right, just at that moment. There he was. You can't make up stuff like that. There's no way. There's no way you can fake that type of attention to detail, that attention to other people, that love for humanity. You cannot fake that. That's something that you're either born with or you're not. It's just that simple. There are some people who might see a situation like that, and you know, that's all I'll say about that. Is there's some people who are not made for that type of exchange with people. I wonder where he gets that from. I wonder where that voice inside of Harry says, "Somebody needs you right now. Do something." I wonder where that comes from. So, excuse me. There's that. I'm getting a little post nasal drip from my allergies right now. You have to excuse me, but my allergies are playing up on me right now. Okay, so before we all break into wind beneath my wings, I think we should move on a bit here. Okay, let me see this one right here. Sash says, Baron, remember Harry told the service members there, we see you. Oh, that is so beautiful. Thanks for reminding us about that. Yeah, thank you so much for reminding us. Yep. Uh, oh, yeah. Well, yeah, there's yet another reason to cry, I suppose. There is yet another reason. Oh, gosh. Well, there goes freedom, huh? There goes our freedom. Here is a group shot. Here's a group shot of all the people who have made the Invictus Games successful. And there in the center, you can see Prince Harry. In the front center, there's Prince Harry waving with everybody else there. This is how the Invictus Games were possible. So, very cool photo. And then there's Hugh Grant. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Is it over 2 hours already? If you guys have not hit the like button, please hit the like button. Please share this with your friends. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you are not subscribed. If you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Make sure you subscribe. So, one more awful Afro Annie. Love Hugh Grant for saying this about Prince Harry. Wish more public figures who feel the same way say something. I think as a man, it's his job to protect his family. So I'm with him, says Hugh Grant. Hugh Grant defends Prince Harry. The tabloids effectively murdered his mother, according to Hugh Grant. Allegedly, possibly, um, most of us would say agreeably. But yeah, so that is what Hugh Grant had to say about it today. Hugh Grant has had a lawsuit or has an ongoing lawsuit with one of the tabloids. So he knows exactly what he's talking about. And Hugh Grant has defended Harry yet again. So there you have it. The son that Prince Philip always wanted, Princess Anne, I was about to say Prince Anne, Princess Anne to be announced as first female head of Royal Marines in August. Is that in August? Yeah, I think that's in August. Well, there you have it. Afro Annie is going to head the Royal Marines. Now, of course, I think that's an honorary position for sure. But yeah, that she's going to be. Now, you can say, of course, the Queen is the head of the armed forces. Well, of course she is. But when it comes to the sovereignty, when it comes to the sovereign, the Queen is considered to be a prince of the land, you know? So it kind of takes away from the gender thing, and she is, you know, the sovereign. The sovereign doesn't really have either or. The sovereign is kind of, in some respects, oh, I don't know, what is the word that I'm looking for? Oh, I know, non-binary. Yeah, there you go, non-binary. So the son, the son that Philip always wanted is going to head the Marines. So yeah, that's it. I don't have a whole lot to add to it. Yeah, yeah. Now, what's curious though is that she's 71 years old, right? She's 71 years old, but they say she has the energy of a teenager. Let me see. The British royal family failed to emulate Harry for the way he conducted the Invictus Games. Um, for the glory would be theirs, but now they have exposed themselves how hateful they are. Yeah, according to what everyone's been saying, that the military establishment in Britain didn't really come out for the Invictus Games. You had the big brass from other parts of Europe there, but in terms of the royal military, the Royal Air Force, the Royal Marines, the Royal Army, nobody really showed up. So, not even the Coast Guard. It was like a big afterthought for Narnia. Okay, so, well, Princess Anne would look very comfortable in a position like that. I mean, after all, when she went on the South Pacific tour recently, you see she was able to make eye contact with one of her cousins while she was marching along the, walkabout. She saw one of her cousins, Defuan or whatever his name is. I think she saw her cousin Defuan or um, DeAndre, whoever he is, but she saw one of her peeps and she stopped to talk to him. So at least she's keeping it real. She's never going to ignore her heritage. Thank you, Mary. I was waiting to see what happened. Yes, her cousin DeAndre. Uh-huh. Defuan, DeAndre, does something. It's got to be does something. DeMarcus, does something. It's does something. Anyway, oh man, too much, too much. So, moving right along, and then I mean, look at the way she's marching in formation. You see that? She's going to be just fine. I mean, the way she's marching, not only were we able to see here that she is staying in touch with her ethnic roots, but she's also staying in touch with her ethnic heritage. I mean, she's marching just like, well, I mean, that you can see that German ancestry. See that? See the way she's marching? Yeah, so um and then right here, I mean, look at how she's stomping in those boots. She is custom made to lead an army if necessary. She is custom made to lead an army. Everybody knows that when her hand is see, you can't see her right hand, right? That's because at the least sign of trouble, she's very quick to wrap them knuckles around her brass knuckles, her knuckle dusters. She's just that kind of person. So B10, welcome to the live stream. Everybody, B10 is here. Welcome, B10. I'm glad. Well, better late than never, right? Thank you. Thank you for being here. Yeah, so there you can see a bit of that German ancestry and heritage. There you can see a bit of that ethnic ancestry and heritage. So she's perfect. She's perfect. She's the son that Philip always wanted. She's also able to march in formation and so. Oh Lord. Okay, y'all. It's about time to call it a day. Oh, and as you can see, Horatio, what is it? Horatio Nelson on horseback. I mean, she's giving me Horatio Nelson. This woman is capable of anything. She has the personality. She has the boots. She has the march, the stomp, the personality. She has the knuckle dusters. She has everything that she needs to be an effective leader. So and let's face it, she can take a punch as well as any man, so she'll be fine, don't worry about it. And of course, I still haven't figured out which is which. I want to say that I want to say that the actor is on. Nope, you know what? I don't know which is which. One of these is Christopher Walken, the other is Afro Annie. I'm still undecided. Can you all decide? I don't know. Okay. And let's go here. I don't know if you guys have seen this or not, but Senator Mallory McMorrow, um, this I actually retweeted this the other day. This was absolutely powerful. She gave a speech, I would say about white privilege and such, that was powerful. So I just want to say, if you guys haven't seen it, then Google her name, search her name on YouTube, and go find this speech. Try to find the entire speech without the commentary. And I want to share it, but I haven't been able to find the speech because after about 10 minutes, then everybody chops it up and highlights and everything. But it was very, very moving. Oh, thank you so much for the super sticker, Lorna Castellano. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And thank you for watching Royal Sussex. And then there's this. I know it's kind of long today. Ken Wharf. Ken Wharf. As you can see here, he seems to respond whichever direction the attention comes from. On the one hand, in 2016, he says, William, I love you, but I don't like you. Remember that? He said, okay. And then on the right side, he goes, Harry, I love you, but I don't like you. The point that they're making here, you can see at the top. I'm hoping people don't read the royal biographies, mainly written by tabloid writers, with the mind of reading some kind of historical record. These books are extensions of tabloid propaganda and are typically written at the behest of the royal household with an agenda to push. So, in other words, it's very odd that the language used to describe a situation concerning William and a situation concerning Harry is worded identical to one another. You see there? So I'm going to try to remember to share this on the community tab so you can read it for yourself. But yeah, it's very strange. Thank you so much, Pagan Trelawney, for sharing that. And so with that, let's give love to our faves, our queens of everything, and our queen of hearts, our queen of everything, Queen Doria, and our queen of hearts, of course, Princess Diana. So, thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. Who would like to have the last word of the day? It has been a pleasure. I'm back home. I'm back in front of my regular computer, so everything is a dream for me today. So much easier for me to work like this. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do something about that so that I can so I can have access to everything I need even when I'm away from home. Okay, last word of the day. Anybody? Last word of the day. I'm scrolling, and then we are going to ginger avenger ourselves out of here. Again, Lorna Cassiano, thank you for the super sticker, and thank you for being a member of Royal Sussex. Last word of the day. Something that will unite us. Oh, thank you, B10. I had some family stuff to do, and I was glad to see everyone. It has been too long. Okay. All right, cookies and cream. Once again, you have it. Everyone, please stay safe, pray, and hydrate. Oh, and Lydia says, have a blessed day, family. I like that too. Okay. Yes. It is time. It is time for the Ginger Avenger. And this one is dedicated to you, B10. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Love you all. And we are going to Ginger Avenger ourselves out of here. Q Ginger Avenger. God, we love Harry, don't we? All righty then. You know what's been bothering me? There's been something that's been bothering me, and I still haven't gotten an answer yet. And it's not the biggest deal in the world, but I still want to know who messed up his hat. Somebody sat on that man's hat, and he is not pleased about it. Now, my first suspect is Afro Annie. It looks like she just like took those bare knuckle duster grabbing hands of hers and just wrapped her hands and started wringing that hat, imagining it was somebody's neck. And the poor man is on a royal tour with a hat that looked like he grabbed it out of a dustbin. I mean, I haven't solved this case yet. But when we do figure it out, it is going to be hell to pay. Annie is going to see to that. I don't think she did that to the poor guy, but somebody scrunched his hat, and we need to find out because This is just reprehensible behavior, and we're just not going to stand for it. Oh man. Yeah, the knotted purse strap. That's the one thing that gets me is that knotted purse strap. And I went through photos trying to like find a few images to share. I have to say I found way more images than I had time to share, but that knotted purse strap gets me every time. I just love Afro Annie. I think she's a hoot, and yeah, you're right, Deborah. She wearing that suit. She can wear a suit. She can wear a suit better than any man I've ever seen. Um, and of course, when I say she can wear that suit better than any man I've ever seen, um, even a non-binary man could never get away with wearing a suit the way that she has. Of course, if it when it comes to wearing a jumpsuit, now nobody can outdo the Countess of Wessex with a jumpsuit. When it comes to wearing a frumpy dress or a jumpsuit, hands down, she's got everybody beat. Nobody can touch her. You're not going to outdo that frumpled dress or the jumpsuit. I mean, just some things you're not going to win. Now, when it comes to wearing big leg pants, there's a tie between the Countess of Wessex and you know the Count of Wessex, Prince Edward, Edwina. Nobody can wear those flared out pants better than those two. That's why they're so suited for each other, because they don't mind experimenting with their wardrobe. See that? See the way his pants flutters, and look at how her pants. Well, that's actually too much fabric to flutter, but oh my goodness. If only I had more time. I had some more stuff about her and her wardrobe. I'll share that with you tomorrow, because I'm pretty sure I'm going to wake up just as shady tomorrow as I did today. Huh. Huh. Um, huh. But yeah, I'll share that with you tomorrow. But y'all, we got to go because it's going on 2.5 hours. I love you all. Thank you so much. I'm glad to be back home. If I spend more than 10 minutes out of my pajamas, I start like breaking out in hives. So um, that's why I keep tape over my camera. One of these days, I'm going to log on, and that tape ain't going to be on that camera. And y'all going to see a middle-aged man sitting around in his pajamas, usually with some, I guess, Keebler pecan sandies at his side, sipping on his coffee. That is the portrait that Norman Rockwell forgot to paint. Is me sipping coffee and eating some Keebler pecan sandies. So let's hope it never comes to that. The tape is secure over the lens. I won't let that sneak up on you. And by the way, you guys, I'm still working on having someone to interview for the channel. I'm going to get in touch with him today before it gets too late. And hopefully we can work out a timetable. Not sure whether or not it's going to be live or pre-recorded, but either way, I'm sure you guys are going to enjoy the question and answer thing, not the interview, should I say. And hopefully I get a chance to solicit some questions from you all beforehand. Okay, so that's it. Thank you again. Thank you, moderators, for doing such a super job. And we are out. I got to go. I got to